stand by, stand by.
She's now bounced out of the shop, she's done a left, so she's on the original Silkwater traffic line. Do you want to pick her up now, Ian?
That's the Romford Road. Can you see her, Alpha 1? Yes, it's P2.
I've got his age up here.
Every time we go out with them, we find new evidence. This is organised crime. I mean, there's no question about it. There's organised crime, which is gouging its way through the authorities, through the systems, through the benefit systems, housing benefit and income support, family credit, child benefit. We've even been told that they're going into the ACCA system, university grant system. They're eating their way into that.
Yeah, there they are. This is the cab's going to come down towards us. See? We've just pulled up behind that one. There they go.
I mean, people who can afford to pay £60,000 rent a year on a property are in a very different class to the majority of people who are claiming income support.
Leslie and her colleagues have just begun to investigate a case involving hundreds of false claims.
Just a little bit of it.
A fraction. It's just for starters, basically.
The other half of this lot is still in the cupboard, and I'm just bringing it out bit by bit and trying to sort it. And this little box here, which is neatly packed, plus all those, plus many more, is just one person's activity.
One person.
One person. And then she's also involved with half of what's remaining on the table and the majority of what's left in the cupboard. She has associates and they fill in forms for each other, as well as doing forms for themselves, and then either she cashes or she gets other people, to cash for her. But she's very active, and the claims are coming in. What, between how many? 60 to 100 a week?
60 to 100 a week at the moment. We try and keep up with it, but they seem to be like flooding the system with claims, and on the hope of having a percentage payout. Basically, if they receive 10% of their claims, 10% of the number submitted, then it's a result for them, basically. So we witnessed her 2 weeks ago. She picked up about £2,500.
That's it, 4 hours work. It's not bad.
One of the girls who we've witnessed recently, the one who did the 8 order books, we actually witnessed her being picked up at the airport, Heathrow Airport, in a sort of Daimler limousine, and we actually went out on the Monday on surveillance and witnessed her when she was straight into the run of things, picked up her order books and cashed a few books, and also they brought in 2 sort of like teenage children in with them, which both now we're sort of been informed were both at boarding school, and they were both sort of chauffeur driven to school in a sort of by limousine, of course.
After the shopping spree to get the clothes.
Yeah, nothing less,
Ray and Leslie's case involves a group led by wealthy Nigerians. They're using the identities and national insurance numbers of people who died in the 1970s and 80s, and of students who've never made claims for benefit. A ring of accomplices then help them to cash the claims in post offices.
The problem with the system is at the moment reasonably vulnerable because it has to be accessible. The vast majority of the 21 million or so claimants to various types of benefit are honest and deserve the benefit and need the benefit. Because it has to be made easy for them to cope with. It's accessible, and if it's accessible and someone wants to get into it and defraud it, it is therefore easier for that person to do so.
What do you think? I know it's a distance,
but the monster with us, mate, the monster. Right. Where a week ago we were sort of looking at probably about £100,000 a week. We're probably looking at £150,000. That's the potential if we put all these claims into payment. And if you equate it to a yearly figure, I mean, it was at £7.5 million a year. They need to be a blinking vulture to catch us from there, aren't they?
Yeah, you've got to have the window open because of this stuff.
£7.5 million in hard cash. And we are talking about hard cash. not about sort of money and credit or whatever. And you have to remember, but with this sort of group of people, this has been going on since 1980. So if you look at the potential again, you're probably looking at well in excess of the Great Train Robbery. One investigation can take anything up to 6 months, and we've got 50 of them. I don't think we've even tackled 1% of 1%, basically. It's not millions, it's billions. So I've got a job until I'm 65.
So do you enjoy all this technology, Ray?
Yes, I do. It's good fun, isn't it? Use all this very expensive equipment, which you would never normally get the chance to even touch, I suppose. It's just very good fun. I enjoy this part of the job. It's just all the other part. I don't mind the paperwork so much. It's just in a case like this, you seem to have so much of it.
You're all still civil servants, aren't you?
Yes, yes we are. Boring old civil servants in our grey suits and bowler hats and little briefcases. Now the image has changed. I used to get really, really jealous if I saw a nice juicy case come my way and then it'd sort of skim the desk. I'd sort of look at it and think, oh great, and then it would go off in another direction and somebody else dealt with it. So that's why I joined up with this lot, because I wanted to follow it through.
Clear as a bell. Beautiful. I can see the BMW number plate.
Did you?
And the chap walking past with his cap on and his mech. Oh, I thought he was going to go in then. He's going round the corner. That's perfect.
Let's have a glare. Lovely now.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Stand by.
Yeah, Alpha 1 has the eyeball. It's a metallic dark blue Volvo 740 saloon. Both the females appear to be seated in the back of the vehicle, which has an aerial on the roof, so it may be a private hire cab. Confirm the driver's an IC3 male.
It's the first time I've seen this vehicle. This Volvo is a new vehicle, so
Clapham North, heading north by Clapham Common.
What have I explained?
It's a reciprocal
Right, that
direction.
white, in front of that white van, I think they are. See the Volvo?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
All vehicles are acknowledged. They're by Clapham Common. They're going through traffic lights on green. They're heading in the reciprocal direction towards Stockwell. All vehicles are acknowledged.
The goal of the squad surveillance operations is not only to obtain intelligence on the people who are carrying out the conspiracy, but also to witness them cashing the claims in post offices.
No, there's no deviation. They're heading towards Stockwell.
This group are Nigerians doing this particular type of fraud. People already in this country have been doing it for some time. We have quite a lot of Irish groups who are into this particular fraud. We've got the Nigerians, the Central Africans. We've got information coming in from Ugandans, Ghanaians, from European countries. There actually isn't an exception now. It's just that we can only deal with so much. We haven't had a look at a lot of these other groups who are jumping on the bandwagon. If there is a disturbance now out in any country and there's any good reason for saying I don't want to be in that country for political reasons, then other people are jumping on that bandwagon and saying I come from Yugoslavia. And we know that there are people trying to do this type of fraud coming, saying that they're coming from Yugoslavia, which is harming the people who are genuinely trying to come into the country as political refugees.
Today, when we're on plot in Luton, be very careful. They're wandering around quite a bit. They're tending to go up side roads that they normally don't go up. Whether they're looking for people, whether they're not, we don't know. But they tend to. I mean, Target 2 yesterday rode his bike. He did a box. He did a strange.
Another investigation team is looking into a gang from Luton, who are claiming under numerous false identities in the London area.
So just be aware on a push bike.
Okay. That bike is a known vehicle.
Right. The yellow Chevette is vehicle 3 for anybody that wasn't out for us yesterday. That's the vehicle we've seen target 2 and target 5 drive. Blue Cavalier's vehicle 1, and the silver Escort, if it turns up, is vehicle 2. Any other vehicle is just unidentified. Okay? Right, thank you very much.
Yeah, relay, MC3 remains with Ellison and Chris.
Right, I'm just approaching the target area. And we'll just put ourselves down there and we'll nip out of the way. In this particular investigation, there's about 8 or 9 targets that we're particularly looking at. They've got hold of God knows how many false identities, and they're using these identities in various offices in London to claim social security falsely. They travel from Luton down to London, sign on at these various offices, sometimes 2 or 3 in one particular day.
Yeah, it's just confirmed vehicle 1's at home.
You spend a lot of time with them and you follow them, you're observing everything that you do. You know, some nights you're even, you know, putting them to bed, so to speak, in order to find out where they live. And yeah, you get used to what they do, how they act. Although I wouldn't say sort of like best friends, yeah, they become part and parcel of your life for a certain period. And then you come to sort of like the day of the arrest, and they're all back at the police station. You're about to interview them, and you sort of think, you know, this is when I'm going to find out, you know, more about them. And you go into the interview room, and you're psyched up, you know. I want to get, you know, what they did here and what they did. Did they see us? Did they spot us and stuff like that? You get in there, and they say no comment.
T1 is out of the vehicle and into the address.
Right. Target 1's left the vehicle and has gone into Target 2's address. So we just wait now for them to go off again. Quite early, so it suggests that they are going down to London. I could be wrong. Probably having a cup of tea, and they'll be off on their merry way shortly.
What do you do with a cup of tea?
Something stronger, I think, at this point in time. No, I mean, you tend not to drink, because if you drink, you want to go to the toilet. You never can find the toilet when you need it. So you tend not to drink during the day, unless it's really hot, and then you obviously you sweat it out anyway. We mainly concentrate on Target 1 and Target 2. The others come into the picture and they go out of the picture, and we pick up, you know, through that picture what they're doing. But normally everything seems to revolve around Target 1 and Target 2. They seem to be the main players. If there's someone behind them, maybe we'll find that out as well. But that will come probably at day of arrest.
Into the vehicle. It's off on the original. Left on the Lee Grade. And it's a left into Lee Grade. That's a left into Lee Grade.
Right, they've all gone into the burger bar, which is near the Archway tube station. They're probably going to the tube station shortly.
To follow the suspect's every move, Alex is backed up by 9 other investigators, in cars and on foot.
You're
out, left. Target 1 and target 2 towards the back entrance of the station.
Yeah, target's into the tube station.
At the ticket counter.
Right, got movement now. They're on the tube. We think they'll go to Hammersmith.
And at Hammersmith?
Sorry?
And at Hammersmith?
They're due to sign in 2 claims that were all... Right.
Out, the other side.
They've come out again. They never do what you expect them to do. So they've come out again.
Heading towards the post office. He's looking to cross to the offside. Crossing over, sir. Waiting to cross. Now across to the offside pavement. Still walking towards the post office. If you want to go with him, Chris, I'll take over the commentary. Yeah. Crossing towards the post office. Held outside the post office.
Right. Target 1's just gone into the post office.
Into the post office.
T2 is in the tube station and is obviously waiting for T1.
What will he be doing in the post office?
Well, I hope he's cashing the dry check. But he may be buying a stamp. I won't know until whoever's in with them comes out. But I hope it's a dry check because this is one that I don't know about. So it'd be a nice result today.
At the moment, I think the benefit system in its entirety is seen as something of a soft touch. There seems to be an increasing acceptance that it's not particularly wrong to defraud the benefits agency, to defraud the benefit system. And that goes all the way up from fairly low-scale customer fraud right into the fairly large-scale, sophisticated, organised fraud that we're talking about.
It's 6 o'clock. The news from the BBC with Katrina Young. Police in London say they've seized counterfeit social security benefit books which could have been used to make fraudulent claims of up to £35 million. 5 men were arrested during the raid at Brixton in South London.
What it seems to be happening is that more and more organised criminals are moving into obtaining money through the instrument of payment system. By that I mean order books and gyro checks, the actual means by which benefit is paid. One of the ways of doing that is to actually counterfeit the documents themselves, to make your own documents, then to encash them and take money in that way. In terms of counterfeiting, we've recently redesigned the order book. There are various things inbuilt in the design of the book that make it an awful lot more difficult to counterfeit than the old stuff. We're losing a substantial amount of money. Each year we're probably losing the equivalent of some 3 to 4 new hospitals, for example. We're losing a substantial amount, but we're aware of it and we are hopefully addressing it.
Units to acknowledge in alphanumerical order. I detest what they're doing. I think simply because I know of a lot of people who are on income support. People who genuinely need more money and find it very difficult to sort of survive on the amounts they have. But they seem to have been penalised simply because of one thing, because they're honest. Oh. That's nice. But nothing's happened as yet. We've been here nearly 5 hours. In the past, she has sort of come out around about the 1 o'clock mark, so we've still got a bit of time before we start panicking. Like any surveillance, you have to give it time. I know it's a bit frustrating and boring sitting here for 5 hours when nothing's happened, but you know, as I say, it's par for the course. We'll just have to remain here until something happens. we've always thought that there has been someone in a position of responsibility, who obviously know the system and must be involved. I can't believe these people come into the country and suddenly they can set up a big organisation like this, you know, within a year of coming to the country, whatever. And we normally come in at the bottom tier, you know, being cashers. Well, I think on this particular case we've come in a bit higher. We've probably come in at the coordinators or the organiser tier, because obviously this woman appears to be responsible for submitting all of the claim forms in every area. Change. Stand by. Brian, can you see the female? I can see her just through the bush.
This sort of thing just leaves a bad taste, because we obviously have lots of instances where people sign unemployed falsely. Well, I wouldn't say lots, but there are people who do. But that doesn't enter into this realm of storytelling. You know, the fact that you've lost your job is quite a simple thing, can't find work, so you're signing on. But this goes into a whole new aspect of claiming benefit with these horror stories, heart-rending horror stories. So there's a batch, all the same sort of stories, all these linked together. Partner's left home and left me and my children. Since I don't have a regular job and good money coming anymore, things have been very difficult. Please try to help us and give us some money. Another one. At first, with my first child, my parents minded me. Still, the English isn't very good, but the gist is the same.
And this is another batch from another area, which is roughly the same story. Relatives travelling abroad, and please help me.
My wife's gone abroad, my baby's father left.
I think they seem to run out of ideas after the first 300, I think. I mean, they are organised and they are well versed on what they're doing. They're not just a sort of sort of make a quick profit sort of type of gang, but they've been operating for quite some time. Obviously, they seem to have their fingers in quite a few pies. You know, it's not only income support, it's other benefits. They're milking the system.
This is a criminal activity. This is organised crime. Simple as that. I mean, particularly I find obscene ones are where they say, you know, my wife died in a car crash, my husband had a heart attack and things like this, when there are people generally out there who want to claim benefit for those very reasons. And they sometimes find it particularly difficult to go through the system because of the grief they're actually going through. Whereas these people, they're just writing the story, and that's it. They don't have the accompanying grief to deal with, you know.
Yeah. They seem to sort of made it into a sort of a speciality, writing sob stories, basically. You know.
Well, some of them, Barbara Cartland, eat your heart out, really.
Perhaps it could be Barbara Cartland. Joke.
The Luton suspects are being followed on their way from Archway to Hammersmith.
Yeah. Well, we're at Hammersmith, but there's no targets here yet. Well, we must have done. Unless there was a hold up on the tube, which I hope there wasn't, because well, they've due to sign here, so, you know, yeah, we've got the van in position and everything, so it's worked quite nicely. I mean, there may be a hold up on the tube, you know, so we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, I'll speak to you later. Bye. Right, so yeah, it was a gyro cash by Target 1 back at the Junction Road Post Office in Archway, so that's a nice result. As far as I know, it's a name that I've not heard before, so you know, if that is the case, then that's an excellent result today. We've got another bit of evidence to add to the jigsaw puzzle.
He's using yet another identity.
He's, as far as I know, he's using yet another identity. So I'm quite pleased about that. Makes the job worthwhile. Just wish they'd turn up a Hammersmith eventually. I get a bit worried about that. And that's the post office they use there, and they come out of that tube entrance there. So, drive round here. And as you can see, this place is an absolute nightmare in order to cover. There's so many exits, there's so many people. It is hard work to keep it covered. Yeah, OC to MC4 mobile.
Go ahead.
Yeah, MC4 mobile. If you can pull up a little bit closer so it's easier for the footmen when they come out. Back to you, eyeball.
MC4, yes, sir.
Trying to remember whose numbers are whose numbers. This is the worrying bit, making sure everything's going right. Just keep on top of the situation. And the other thing is not to interfere too much, because you interfere too much, you're taking up valuable airspace. Somebody could be trying to say something very important on the other end, and I'm sort of like prattling on about cars here, cars there. So really it's to get over the message very quickly and keep off the air, get back off the air. Right, Clive, are you in a position?
Yes, sir.
OC, visual permission?
Approaching the station.
Yeah, repeat, Tina.
I can't take them on foot. I think in the waiting room, there's just the three of us.
Approaching a bus stand.
Yeah, Chris, are you able to go with Clive and follow the targets?
Yes, I'm on the way here.
Yeah, if you and Clive only can follow the targets, I want a further footman to take him into the post office. Either Steve, preferably Steve.
Yeah, Steve's still in the UBO.
Right. Yes. Yeah, I'll get out on foot and I'll take him into the post office.
Approaching the subway. Okay, down the subway, Alex. Yes, sir. Stand, sir. Common service to Alex.
Down into the subway, down into the subway.
Yes, I'll set up a commentary and it's a left into the subway.
This is the time when the butterflies start going in your stomach. And when you're running a job is to sort of like covering all the options. You've got to constantly think, have I covered the option?
Yes, sir. So that's the subway. We've left that towards the post office. Approaching the tube station. Approaching the post office. Yeah, next round, Alex. Yes, sir.
If you're running it, you've got to go with your decisions and think, well, this is where I want it covered. And if it works, then it works. If it doesn't, then you've got to take the can at the end of the day.
Any minute now, you'll see them come in.
Yeah.
There they are. There they are.
There's one in two. Got his son in his back pocket?
Yep.
Yeah. Cliver comes in behind them and then he goes out again.
Yeah, because I came in then.
Oh, whose jacket's that you've got on, Alex?
I don't know, it's like green jacket.
It's like green jacket.
God, it's very cool, that geezer. Who is it? Am I going to the next counter?
Right.
This is where I asked for a driving licence thing, child benefit, and 2 first-class debits. Which was quite embarrassing because the T1 was like, oh my god, who is that geezer? And T1 was ages. I was thinking, what should I ask her next? And I think she thought I was a complete idiot. She wasn't far wrong.
She worked with you before?
She has, yeah.
This is away from the counter. Is that putting his money in his pocket?
I think he is. Yeah. Right.
No, they'll come out in any second now. They'll come around the corner together. There's one. There's two.
And have a little laugh and a joke.
And away we go.
And away they go.
We have a variety of cases aimed at our system. We have thefts of the order books and the gyro checks in the postal system, or during the delivery system. We have burglaries from both our local offices and our post offices. Last week, I know in 10 offices in London, we lost 3,000 books in 1 week. I think the average is something like 9,000 a month. So if you work that out over 12 months, and if you take into account the whole country, I mean, I'm talking about London there, it doesn't take long for the scale of it to go up quite enormously. In London, I think we lose something about 70% of the books that we issue actually go astray somewhere in the delivery system. It's not always easy for us to pinpoint that point of loss. But and with each individual book, I mean, one thing to remember that each individual book can be worth potentially £2,000 to £3,000 per book. So if you're losing 1,000 books from a particular area, you can imagine that that's quite a substantial amount of money.
I've never seen anybody work like this before, and it does mean to say that there aren't more out there. We just don't know, because we're only touching a few of them, and day by day we realise that we're chasing our tails. You know, we're always behind ourselves. I mean, I suppose that's the same in most investigative departments, but it's like it is running faster than we can catch up at the moment.
When you come to sort of 1,100, 1,200 claims, you think you would have nearly reached the limit of what they could deal with. It's I mean, it's just mind-boggling, really. I mean, you know, I've been in this sort of game for a long time, and this has just gone way beyond anything I've ever looked at.
What?
NSIS. No. Do you have it?
Yeah, well, put it this way.
Our problem in this case is time. You know, when there's a large loss to public funds, as there is on this particular case, there's only sort of a limited amount of time you can actually spend on an investigation, basically. But we're getting there slowly. We're getting there slowly but surely. We're getting there. Definitely. It's a bit of a hard bind, but we are getting there. Quite funny, because I spoke to a person, the fellow who came to see us this morning regarding claims over in the Romford area. Said to me, well, aren't they hitting the Ilford area yet? And so 2 hours later, hey presto, we have Ilford. Ilford's on the map.
I think we are under-resourced. We haven't reached the point yet where putting more resources into the investigation of fraud has meant that we can't increase our effectiveness. That point hasn't been reached. Multiple claims in London is astronomical. It's an ever-growing thing. We now have 3 teams, I think, dedicated just to looking at multiple identity fraud in London, and they are completely overworked. I could give them 6 teams, 20 teams, and they'd still be overworked.
I did offer to Ray. He said I won't come in for the week, I'll go straight to Forest Hill and get a visual on the address.
I think we should be looking to wind it up. Although it's only been running a fairly short time for one of our operations, we've got a lot. I think we know where the majority of them live.
Schofield Road.
Yes, that's the address.
Do we know that one yet?
Yeah, we know that address. We know
the claim.
Oh, right.
Alex's operation now has 6 main targets, and the day of the arrest has been set.
Ah! Oh, what a surprise. That's a surprise, isn't it? It's a lot.
We're nearly there now, so it's a bit apprehensive to start with, because you never know what's going to happen. But I just hope it does go smoothly.
Open the door, please.
Hello?
No.
Hello, sorry, please. You are... Sorry, what's your name?
You got keys to the car? Yeah. To Peugeot.
Open the door!
Start at 5.
Yeah. What's your name, young mate? Officer with the Regional Crime Squad. You're under arrest for conspiracy to defraud the Department of Social Security.
She's got nothing to do with it, you've got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, well, I don't want to go to this stinking police station, alright?
Well, it's tough.
I'm not going.
You will be going.
I will not be going.
But you will.
Right.
Well, we've got Mr. Stroppy volunteer.
Is he not happy?
Yeah, he's not happy. He doesn't want to come with us.
Yeah, is he not a happy Harry?
He's not happy, Harry.
Well, we'll see. You might win the lottery yet.
You've got target 3, target 4 and target 5.
Where's 5?
It's in the back there.
They're all out the back at the moment, being kept out of the way.
Which is quite a result because we didn't expect to get target 3. And then we've got all this stuff. I mean, this stuff was all found in the kitchen. There's 4 UB40s and different names, some of which we know, some of which we don't know. It's not a bad little haul, really, is it?
We've just come across something in that seeing target 2 deliberately using a public telephone. And I mean, we know they've got a phone of their own and there's no problem there, but she's deliberately using a public telephone for long conversations, you know, half an hour at a time.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I'll see you when I get back to the office, Tina, alright? Okay, speak to you later.
Come on, come on.
Tina's just gone through the rubbish bins with her gloves and her gang, and they found a list of claims, schedules with all claim names on, money's going out. Absolute, yeah!
Fantastic.
We can't, what more can we say? What a day.
Is Rubbish Day Friday then, Friday mornings? Because if that's the case, we're going to be
yes,
there every Thursday.
We'll have that rubbish every single week. That's what, you know, if
right,
needs be. Yeah, they found, they said, a list of everything in there, of the distribution of monies.
The curry and the...
Well, I said it wasn't too bad once you got past, you know, the food on top. See what's in that bag then. Find some
conference room.
Yeah, conference room. Have a look. What is this?
What you got there?
Oh, this is interesting. This is all amounts of money.
Oh yes, I got one too. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the claims that we know of. And there is
That's target 2s.
That's right, and this is
target 5s. Because that
yeah.
name she did up, the one she did last week, we went out of her. This one here, I'm just trying to work out the initials.
Do a bit to this.
We don't know about one either, Les. Or VW, yeah, VW's Kensington High Street.
Yeah.
I did that one.
Well, you didn't do it.
Well, I said do it. I don't let me literally do it. Look at this one.
Okay, what you got?
It even tells you the post office. Look.
Oh.
And we haven't got any of those names.
No, these are all new. These are all new. Those 9 are new ones. Definitely. That one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 names there I've never heard of.
And lots of figures.
And £649 on the 8 names. So that's 8 names we don't know of. There's 9 names we didn't know of there. That's 17 names. Those we did know. It's about 8 there that we did know. and those are a mixture. So there's about 17 there, and possibly another, I don't know, 8 there that we don't know of. So there's 25 that we didn't know of. And considering when we followed her the other day, and in 2.5 hours, 3 hours, she cashed £2,500 on the names we did know. So you look at another 17, 25 names that we don't know, it speaks for itself, doesn't it?
A search like this could in fact save you about probably 8 weeks in surveillance, basically. I mean, the information here has shown us exactly what claims they've done, what monies they've got from those claims, where they've been, their social life. You can actually learn a lot from someone's dustbin, actually. So be careful what you put in your dustbin. No.
1 month later, Ray and Leslie now have all the evidence they need for their suspects to be arrested.
We're going into roughly 20 addresses through the period of this morning, and hoping that the people are where we expect them to be. That's always a problem.
You excited?
Very nervous, not excited, very nervous. It's like having a play, and you don't know if everybody knows what their part is. I mean, we know what we want to do, but we don't know what they're going to do. So. The nature of this fraud is that these people have access to documentation, multiple identities. They come from another country, and they know how to move in and out of countries very easily. And invariably, if they're placed on bail, we lose them, and we say goodbye. So we get them as far as the courts, and if there's nowhere to put them, then that's it. We don't get them to trial.
Do you feel frustrated as a result of that?
Very much so, yes. We do understand the problems that surround it, but it makes our job that much harder. Alpha 6 for Brian, receive.
Go ahead.
Yes, do you have any information, Brian?
1 or 2 of the lights have been turned out, but there's lights on in the bedroom.
Yes. Has anybody left the premises?
Not so far as I could see.
Yes, yes, all received. But they use this exit. They use this exit, yeah.
This is your property here, is it? Well, this young lady's going to search. Okay? You do watch what goes on in this room, because this is your room.
Got income support claim form, dated 26th of July. Notebook, dark blue. Current account with the Woolwich. Calculator, instant saver account. Abbey National. These are itemised separately, okay? Yeah, these and all the financial accounts. Oh.
Income support, 1. Ashton and Makerfield again.
Yeah.
Again, income support.
Chanel brown bag, £835 or £535? Oh.
Isn't it? Ah, Abbey National.
Machina's suit, £580.
Stop it, Lee.
Hermes belt, £730.
Get me upset, stop it. Another receipt for your birthday.
Oh yes. Okay.
Financial planning diary. Your projected earnings.
I presume that's in Nigerian dollars.
Nairas, are they?
Nairas, whatever they are. 95, 96.
98.
I don't know what the rate is, but
They were
this
obviously
says
going
what?
home September 98.
September 98.
Yes.
And that's the amount of money that they were taken in. And if you can read it, I can't.
4,492,355,878.61.
And this is major plan A now. This goes on.
That's only worth 562 million.
Oh, that wasn't such a good plan then.
No.
Right. But it's a very interesting little book. I'm not sure whether these were for resale or for their own wearing, but quite a lot of the stuff has actually been worn. Other stuff is unopened, but it's so much beautiful gear. You know, one belt's worth 1,000 quid's worth at a time, and there's numerous belts, all just packaged up in the bathroom. Yeah.
And shoes.
Shoes upon shoes upon shoes.
Shoes upon shoes.
Certainly, yes.
To make matters worse, none are in my size. See, it's got a lot of addresses.
Yeah, he's got one body and 10 order books from a mattress. No, I don't know who it is. No. But if you can ask Tony to bring those bags, we've got plenty of stuff to put in them. Okay. All right then. Okay. Yeah. Bye. Bye. Well, some unexpected things and so, you know, some good things, some bad things really. We've got plenty of evidence. We're just a bit short on bodies at the moment, unfortunately. But at other addresses, people that we didn't expect have turned up, and some of the ones we did expect have turned up. So, you know, I mean, when you think you're looking for, say, 20, 22, 25 people, there's going to be a percentage that you're not going to get. I'd like to get them all. Never mind. Come on, you like to go downstairs?
That day, 11 people were charged.
Okay, you coming up with this or
But over the next few days, and acting on leads from the raids and further surveillance, 6 more people were arrested. Over 2,000 identities and 500 addresses have been discovered in the conspiracy so far. Order books, clothes and cash worth hundreds of thousands of pounds have been seized. And the operation continues.